Hello, welcome back. I'm Statman Dave. Today we're going to be looking at Tchouameni and how he'd fit into Ralf Rangnick's Manchester United. Exciting, a player that's ranked in the 98th percentile for tackles plus interceptions. If you want more stats like that, jump over to SofaScore, our partners all through 2022. Anyway, let's get this party started. MUFC are keen on Monaco midfielder Aurélien Tchouaméni via David Ornstein. Manchester United, there is a massive need for reinforcements in midfield. That is absolutely apparent right now. They need to probably buy two midfielders. I'd say a 6 and an 8 or two 6s tomorrow. That's so important for United's squad. Tchouameni has been a player that's been linked with Manchester United previously. Played with Paul Pogba in the Nations League. He played with Paul Pogba in a 3-4-1-2. The big concern when you play with Paul Pogba, because of his natural instincts to be in the final third, is you basically have to play two positions. Hence why N'Golo Kante is so good at playing with Paul Pogba, because Kante not only is a player that presses supremely well in the final third, but is a great screen. He's a shuttler and he's a ball winner, all wrapped into one player. I think when you look at the Tchouameni and his stats in France, they're very, very similar to someone like N'Golo Kante. And I think that's why it works well with Paul Pogba. Tchouameni is in the 98th percentile for tackles and interceptions versus midfielders in Europe's top 5 leagues. We'll dive a little bit deeper into the stats in a second. But again, with this final, Gavi was running a bit of a mockery in the first 20-25 minutes, playing on Paul Pogba's side. Didier Deschamps flipped the midfielders and Tchouameni went to play on the left side of midfield, and Pogba went onto that right side of the midfield as the central pairing, and Tchouameni completely bullied Gavi, started to get physical with him, started to win the ball back. In this final, Tchouameni made 4 interceptions, won 2 out of his 2 tackles, and was very, very important in the first goal, I believe. He won the ball back really well, shipped it to Pogba, Pogba counter-attacked, of course. Kylian Mbappe, I think he combined with Benzema for the goal. But in terms of in Ligue, of course, this is where the stats are flying out. Let's have a look at those defensive stats. Again, this is what Man United kind of need right now. They need players that win the ball back supremely well. That is the style. That is gegenpressing. That is how you want your 2 6s or your double six to perform in those positions. In terms of those statistics, 2.7 interceptions per game, 2.5 tackles won per game. He's winning the ball back through tackles and interceptions 5.2 times per game. Very, very impressive numbers. Of course, when you're looking at Manchester United and kind of the side at the moment, the 4-2-2-2-2 is kind of the tactical default at the moment. I think for Manchester United, there needs reinforcements in these 6 positions. You'd say Fred and McTominay are the only ones that are kind of up to that standard. So throw in, Tchouameni into the midfield. What you're going to get out of him is that aggression. To press high and to win the ball back and to nip in front of defenders like he did in the recent game against PSG, frequently nipping in front of the likes of Messi when receiving the ball, but also in that defensive sense to come back and to block. I think from that perspective, in terms of United counter-pressing, dropping balls into the channels for the likes of Rashford, I feel his speed is needed at the moment, for Bruno to squeeze, for Sancho, for Ronaldo to squeeze, and then having one of the midfielders being super aggressive, one of the midfielders sitting, creating this kind of diamond structure. Tchouameni would be perfect to that, and his stats, winning the ball back over 5 times from tackles and interceptions, would just be so suited to this role. I think from a possession perspective, from watching Tchouameni, he's not a player that consistently plays progressive passes. He's not someone that's going to consistently find the likes of Rashford, Ronaldo, Sancho in between the lines. He's a very safe midfielder in possession. More frequently you'll see him turn and play backwards passes to the fullbacks, or play it slightly ahead of the fullback, link with his midfield partner, or fire it to the centre halves. That's something that would obviously have to change under Ralf Rangnick. One of the big things with Ralf Rangnick is that kind of directness, that verticalness, that ability to play those passes. That's not saying that he can't do it, it's just saying that it's infrequent when he's playing. Take a look at the statistics from SofaScore. So he's averaging, in terms of possession, he's averaging around 73 touches per game. He's accurate with 87% of his passes in his own half. Is 94% completion rate, which is good, it's what you want. And in the opponent's half, it drops down to 80%, suggesting he's a little bit more more aggressive when he does get into the opponent's half, and they need to unlock the door. Averaging 2.9 long passes per game, which is good at a 60% completion rate. But just take a look at some other stats in terms of that, the possession numbers. Around 5 progressive passes per game for Monaco, which isn't too bad. Comparable to Manchester United's midfield, I think that's pretty decent. But that's, again, previous styles with Bruno Fernandes being the key progressor and the fullbacks. So it is definitely something that Tchouameni needs to improve. His game against PSG in recent weeks was very good in a defensive situation. Again, you can look at the numbers, quite safe in possession, 90% pass completion in the game, won 3 out of his 3 tackles, made 7 interceptions. Quite a few times that's him jumping out of shape, which is kind of what you need in Ralf Rangnick's setup and system. It's jumping at the right time. It's making that tactical decision, which again, we've seen people struggle with, when the ball's getting squeezed, let's say, by Bruno Fernandes. Let's say there's an opposition player to the left of Tchouameni. It's stepping out and cutting out that passing lane before it's played forward. And I do think that's something that Tchouameni would absolutely excel at if the system was right and if the system kind of worked. And throwing out other players like Haidara into that midfield, there's 2 signings there that instantly improve Manchester United's midfield zone. And Tchouameni, as we've kind of seen, that his ability to win the ball back is pretty sensational. The SofaScore award for Tchouameni, the bulldozer, the number 6, top for interceptions, 139, top for tackles, 185 third for ball recoveries, and he won 323 ground duels. That is out of their database in Europe, which is very, very impressive, a force to be reckoned with. And when you're looking for pressing midfielders, here's your guy. And yes, there definitely needs to be improvement in parts of his game. He's not the complete midfielder yet, and that's what you want at the moment, is you want to create these complete players, in my personal opinion. I see footballers as complete. I don't see footballers in one role. I see footballers that can achieve every part of the game, hence why Tchouameni would have work to be done on his passing, but would win the ball back very, very well. I think from a sense of what it could lead to Manchester United maybe going to under Ralf Rangnick, of course the 4-2-2 has been a system that's played, but I think long term, moving to maybe a 4-4-2 diamond could be a really good sort of transition for Manchester United. I feel that would get the best out of the likes of Bruno Fernandes, the likes of, Tellez, Dillo at fullback. I think Jadon Sancho as a forward might work. I think Rashford as this, second striker pressing number 10 could work quite well as well. Thinking in a defensive sense, kind of dropping back into a narrow sort of 4-3-3, but then in possession, Rashford moving, laterally, moving horizontally, dropping deep, but also making runs in behind the defence. I think Rashford is more suited to the tip of a 4-4-2 diamond, but the base would be created in midfield by Tchouameni and Scott McTominay, and that would probably allow Bruno Fernandes to play more vertical from central midfield, which again would improve United so far. And Tchouameni would allow this. Fred could also do this job. Even looking at a sense of playing this diamond with Bruno as a number 10, if he can adjust his game slightly. Having Bruno Fernandes as a number 10 with Fred, McTominay and Tchouameni in midfield. Now that is a midfield that will win the ball back and create a great platform for United to attack. And I feel that could be a real good option, going forward. Maybe ditching that 4-2-2-2 at the moment, going for a diamond with that midfield solidity, with Tchouameni as a right-sided shuttler, aggressive midfielder, could work quite nicely. Alternatively, playing McTominay a little higher would probably work out a bit better, because we've seen his improvement, getting shots away and so forth. So kind of an exciting time for Manchester United. Obviously, Tchouameni's been linked with Liverpool as well. Would do a similar job in their midfield. David Ornstein threw them into the equation as well. And I think it'd be this similar shuttling role. We think Liverpool's midfield does need reinforcements. Harvey Elliott did a great job. Henderson's done a great job on the right side. Maybe getting a left-sided midfielder, central midfielder that is aggressive, like a Tchouameni, that can play box-to-box, could work quite well. But guys, let me know what you think about Tchouameni. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're new around here, please hit that subscribe button. Do you want Tchouameni to join Manchester United? There needs to be some reinforcements in midfield. Tchouameni could be that guy. Get in the comments below as well. Who else do you want Man United to sign? Is it Haidara? Is it Boubacar Kamara? Let me know. I've been Statman Dave. Subscribe if you're new. Check out SofaScore. I'll see you later.